Hey guys, Duke Delayed here for Pickup Daily. We're going to answer another question from Set It today. It says, how do you know when someone is out of your league? We're going to talk about this and some related concepts today on this episode of Pickup Daily. How do I know when someone's out of my league? What does that even mean? You know, I saw something on the internet and it said, comparison will kill you. It's one of the most poignant things I've seen on a little inspirational quote card for a very, very long time. Comparison will kill you. The traditional thought behind arguing against comparison would say that, oh, there's always going to be somebody better, there's always going to be somebody faster, there's always going to be somebody stronger, somebody younger, somebody this, somebody that will always be able to beat you. So if you're comparing yourself with the rest of the world, you're always going to lose. So comparison is pointless. On the other hand, competition is always an amazing motivator, both in evolutionary background and in our masculine testosterone-driven brains. Competition is a beautiful way to kick ourselves in the ass and get us moving in the right path. So when we're talking about leagues, you're going to have to judge it based on the context that you're in. See, it's one thing to say that girl's super hot, she's out of my league. It's one thing to say that she's a lawyer, she went to fucking 12 years of school, she's out of my league. One thing to say that she drives a BMW, she's out of my league, right? All of these things, if you're myopically looking at one particular aspect, you can compare yourself against it and then figure out if you're higher or lower. Now, if you do this on a regular basis, you're constantly dealing with the math and the value propositions between you and other people. It can be useful, but when you're talking about attraction between a woman and a man, you want to look at different things like lifestyle and indicators of interest and how you guys spend your time, what you guys value, what your thoughts and beliefs are about the world so that you can maintain compatibility and rapport into the long term. Those things have very little to do with how much money you make, how tall you are, how hot you are, all of those things. That's why we say, oh yeah, looks don't really matter. Looks matter, okay? Money matters. Strength matters. Power matters. Status matters. But a lot of that stuff doesn't matter as much when it comes to talking about comfort, rapport, and attraction. Those things have different levels of significance in different contexts. For instance, if I met a girl who's a professional yoga instructor, and her whole life is based around fitness, and she's been a vegetarian for 12 years, and she's like an activist in the vegetarian community. She's a hyper third wave feminist and believes in monogamy as God has said it. As God has said it in his holy book. We're not going to get along. Fuck leagues, we're just not compatible. Okay? Like, she's going to be like, oh, look, fat guy, unhealthy, also professional pickup artist, and not all that religious. What do we have in common? What are we going to do? Like, what is this? Like, we're going to hook up maybe and have great yoga sex, and then we're going to leave. Chances are, I'm going to gas out 45 minutes into the thing, and she's going to be ready to go for a long time. Our lifestyles just aren't the same. We're not compatible. That has nothing to do with leagues, right? This myopic view of one quality and saying, oh, I'm out of her league, whatever, right? If you want to look at it on a meta perspective, a woman will always be out of our league till she hits like 32, till she hits not being able to have children without giving them autism and Down syndrome age. As long as she's useful and fertile, she's going to always be out of our league. But then after that, we'll always be out of her league as long as we can maintain ourselves, right? On a meta level, the competition and sexual marketplace value goes like this, right? So the older we get, the better status, the better money, the better provision, the better chances we get to deal with life in a way that's attractive to women. And the older they get, the more downhill they go in their youth and their fertility and the elasticity of their skin and all that stuff. So if you're talking about like that kind of comparison, we're actually on the better end of the stick in the long term. But for you, I would stop worrying about leagues in general. If you're not part of her social circle, if you don't know how she acts and interacts and operates, then learn something about it. right? If she's a supermodel and you know nothing about the modeling industry, you guys are going to have very few things to talk about. I was reading a whole bunch of books on strippers recently, and they're talking about if you don't know anything about the stripping industry, she gets home at 5 in the morning, she's like crazy as hell, and she has like a whole lot of money and no time to deal with it because she sleeps when everybody else is awake. If you're a normal 9-to-5 guy, your schedules are just not going to match, right? That has nothing to do with leagues. It has everything to do with compatibility in timing and schedules. So I'd be worrying less about whether she's out of your league or not, and more about how much you can understand about her lifestyle, how she acts, interacts, and operates with the rest of the world, and how you can fit into that and how she can fit into yours, giving yourself enough time and enough proximity to each other to build a relationship that has lasting meaning. Or however long you want that to last. Yeah. If I was limited in my mindset about how hot a woman was versus how hot I thought I was, I would approach absolutely no women because for the longest time I didn't think I was good looking enough to matter in the social sphere. But I approached them anyway, and through that action, I ended up getting reference experiences that told me not only am I enough, but also that I was always enough, I just didn't know it or acknowledge it yet. If you want to do this stuff live, approach new women and get dates with me, I'm on a national tour going through all the cities of the U.S., so check the schedule out in the card over there. And I answer questions like this every damn day here on Pickup Daily, so until tomorrow, stay awesome.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase